When I was a little girl, I watched my grandmother give herself insulin shots in her stomach and in her legs, and I didn't understand what diabetes was, but I knew one thing for certain. I was terrified that getting older meant that I had to do the same thing. So as I got older, I did everything I thought was right to stay healthy. I avoided sugar, I exercised, I even went vegetarian and then later vegan. But in my early 30s, I was diagnosed with prediabetes. Meanwhile, I had friends who would eat junk food. They didn't really care much about what they ate. Maybe they were even overweight and they were perfectly fine. How is that even possible? Why do some people get prediabetes and even diabetes when they eat healthy, what they think is healthy, and others don't? So today I'm breaking down why some people are more prone to type 2 diabetes than others, the science behind it, and what I wish I had known years earlier. Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm a keto coach and I'm a certified advocate through the Metabolic Terrain Institute of Health. I am passionate about helping men and women suffering from metabolic issues reclaim their health and vitality through lifestyle changes. So most people think you get diabetes from eating too much sugar, but that is really only part of the picture. So what really determines whether you develop insulin resistance and prediabetes is really a mix of genetics, how your body processes carbs, and other metabolic factors that most people rarely talk about. So first, let's talk about genetics. You've probably heard people say, diabetes runs in my family. And while lifestyle plays a huge role, there is actually a genetic reason why some people are more likely to struggle with insulin resistance. So your DNA contains small variations called SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms, that affect how your body functions. And some of these SNPs can make it harder for your body to produce insulin or process glucose, sugar, efficiently. So for example, there is a well-studied variation in the TCF7L2 gene that is linked to a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. It affects how much insulin your pancreas produces, which means that some people have a naturally lower insulin response to carbs, meaning that blood sugar spikes will be more likely. Now, this doesn't mean that genetics are your destiny, but if you have these genetic risk factors, your body may be more sensitive to the amount and the type of carbs that you eat. And this is exactly why keto works so well for people like me. So it reduces the insulin demand on the body and helps restore metabolic flexibility. So in my 20s, I went vegan because I believed it was the healthiest way to eat. And while plant-based diets work for some people, for me, it was a metabolic disaster. Almost everything I ate was high in carbohydrates, rice, lentils, sweet potatoes, tempeh, and I was terrified of fat. And I thought that dietary fat was gonna make me fat. So here's what I didn't know then. It's the way that you combine your macronutrients that affects how your body processes sugar. So when you eat carbs alone, especially without enough protein or fat, it can cause a sharp blood sugar spike. And that's followed by a crash that can end up making you feel a bit hungrier. But when you pair carbs with protein, fiber, healthy fats, you slow down the absorption of glucose and make that blood sugar response more stable. So even though I wasn't eating junk food, my diet was still fueling my insulin resistance. And this is one reason why keto is so effective. It naturally prioritizes proteins and fats that don't have the same insulin response as carbs. And it also eliminates processed carbs, which we know spike blood sugar. Another huge piece of the puzzle that I did not understand was about muscle. So muscle is one of the most powerful tools for blood sugar control. You can think of your muscles like a sponge for glucose. The more muscle you have on your body, the better your body becomes at soaking up the sugar that's in your bloodstream and using it for energy rather than storing it as fat. And here's the cool part. Muscle can take in glucose without needing much insulin. So when you just move your body, whether it is through strength training or walking or just your simple daily movements, your muscles can help clear sugar from your bloodstream. So this is probably why some of my friends who were chunkier, but they lifted weights or were more active, had better blood sugar control than I did, even though I was thinner. They had more muscle, which meant their bodies could handle carbs better than mine. So while diet is a huge part of the equation, building and maintaining a muscle is one of the best things you can do for your body to improve your insulin sensitivity, whether you're doing keto or not. So now I want to talk about the gut microbiome and its connection to insulin sensitivity. Well, something that most people don't realize is your gut bacteria also play a massive role in insulin sensitivity. The balance of microbes in your digestive system affects how well your body can metabolize carbs and thus regulate blood sugar. So there are certain gut bacteria that help produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, and those improve insulin sensitivity. But if your gut is out of balance, maybe you're eating a high sugar diet, or maybe you took antibiotics, or you're eating lots of processed foods, you may have an overgrowth of bacteria that actually promote inflammation and insulin resistance. When I was vegan, I relied on a lot of processed plant foods. I was eating soy, grains, fake meat products, which weren't great for my gut health. And it wasn't until I reintroduced animal proteins, healthy fats, and then later some fermented foods that I noticed a huge improvement in my digestion and my blood sugar control. So here's how you can take care of your metabolic health. So if genetics, macronutrient balance, and gut health all play a role, you may be wondering, well, what is the best way to turn things around? Well, the truth is there is no single magic diet that works for everyone, but there are some key principles that can help to reset your metabolism and improve your insulin sensitivity. So that's exactly why I created my guide and journal, Metabolic Mastery. It's not just about keto, it's about helping you build real habits that support metabolic health, no matter where you are starting from. So inside you'll find meal planning templates, daily habit trackers, and science-backed guides, recipes. These all will take the guesswork out of improving your metabolism. I'm gonna link this for you below if you want to check it out. Now, for many people, especially those struggling with blood sugar issues, keto can be a powerful tool because it reduces insulin demand and it stabilizes blood sugar, and it helps restore that metabolic flexibility. But even if you're not fully keto, simply focusing on lowering your processed carbs, prioritizing protein, and building muscle can make a massive difference. So how can you improve insulin sensitivity and support metabolic health? Well, step number one is you want to cut back on those processed carbs and sugars. Yes, even the ones that are deemed healthy, like oatmeal and granola. Skip them. Remove them. Step number two is you want to prioritize protein at every meal. You want to aim for at least 30 grams of protein per meal to support muscle and your blood sugar balance. Step three is you want to add fiber from non-starchy vegetables. You want to eat leafy greens, broccoli. These are going to support your gut health and reduce those insulin spikes. So step number four is don't fear the fat. So healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, fatty fish are going to help to stabilize your energy. So step number five is to strength train and move your body daily. Remember, your muscle is like a glucose sponge, and lifting weights can drastically improve that insulin sensitivity. Now, I know I'm not the only one who has struggled with eating healthy, but still feeling stuck. So if you have ever been surprised by a health diagnosis or wondered why some people develop prediabetes or diabetes while others don't, drop a comment below. I'd like to hear your experiences. And if you are serious about taking control of your metabolic health, don't just guess your way through it. You can use my guide, Metabolic Mastery, to help you stay on track, track your progress, and build better habits to make real changes. It's all laid out for you here, step by step. You can grab a copy in the link below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.